going? Oh man, it is my first time in this city, regrettably. I love being here. It's regrettable that I haven't been here before. I love being here now. It's been so amazing attending the conference. We've had such an amazing welcome from everybody here, so I just have to say thank you so much for attending. Everybody from Toronto, everybody from the surrounding area, you've been so amazing, so kind, so welcoming. So let's dive into it. So I am Eric Parker. I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called Giddy. We're based in the US, headquartered in Salt Lake City, Utah. Half of our team is remote, you know the drill. We are focused on solving the problem of the fact that crypto is just kind of hard. It's difficult to do, it's high risk, and in our focus on creating technology to solve the problem, we've done two major things. One, we've abstracted out the difficulty of keeping track of your own seed phrase. We've protected it, made it recoverable. The other side is making crypto and DeFi transactions really easy, but we're going to talk about this one. Seed phrases are killing crypto with the help of some AI-generated art. And believe it or not, that is AI-generated. It wasn't my own art skills that got us here, but let's dive in. So we're going to talk about dragons because Vitalik Buterin talks about dragons sometimes. He shared a story a few years ago. It's the story of the dragon tyrant, the fable of the dragon tyrant, as represented by this fearsome dragon that you're looking at right here. We're going to dive into what exactly that means. And keep in mind, this art is AI generated. It's just phenomenal. It's so perfect. So the fable of the dragon tyrant. There was, once upon a time, a big dragon that totally dominated and ruled the entire earth. And every single week, he demanded a tribute of thousands of people. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. As the years went by, he needed more thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, and everybody's, mother and sister and child and brother and friend was being consumed and afflicted by this dragon that was eating everybody. So when it started out, people hated it. No one was okay with the idea that this dragon was ruling the world and eating everybody. But, time goes on, and again, AI-generated art. It's so hilarious that AI can't spell stuff. I love every single one of these. So that's AI's version of 100 years later. Time went on, and people started to become okay with the notion that this dragon was eating everybody. And they just got used to it. Some people even tried to argue that the dragon had a right to eat everyone it wanted to. They didn't want to change the status quo. The people in charge were fine. And after a while, they just kind of went with it. Until enough time passed that some forward thinkers, some visionaries and dreamers started to consider what it would be like to not have a dragon eating everybody all the time. It sounded okay to them. Still, they had some pushback. There were some people who didn't like the idea, but they came up with some dragon-killing technology, a big old spear or something. Imagine it's maybe cooler than just the spear, but it's really cool dragon-killing technology that some people didn't want. But it got rolled out anyway, and after a while, when the dragon was dead, everyone realized how much it sucked getting eaten by the dragon all the time. All of a sudden, I didn't have to, sacrifice my friends and my kids and everyone in my neighborhood and the next, town over to this dragon. It's dead, it's gone. Why in the world did we put up with this dragon for so long? So there's a couple different lessons to be learned here. There's some allegories to the world of traditional finance and banking, how debt and income works. This one specifically, you might have guessed, is about seed phrases, and it's about global crypto adoption. So this dragon, an enormous amount of value has been lost because private keys have been lost. As you can see, estimates between 20 and 40% of all Bitcoin mined is just gone. It's in a landfill somewhere, or it was on a piece of paper that got chewed up by a dog. And estimates of around 20% of Ethereum that's been generated has been lost due to private keys. Roughly $230-ish billion is currently being held in self-custodied wallets, being protected by seed phrases and private keys. around 40% of the total market cap at the time that I put these slides together, which, as a side note, is honestly, arguably, a little bit too low. There should be a lot more than 40% of the total crypto market cap being kept in self-custodied wallets. But here we are. There's already been tremendous loss due to private keys and seed phrases that have been deleted, and we have the potential to lose so much more. The purpose behind blockchain, decentralized, permissionless systems is there's so many important things that have yet to be realized on the global stage. There's so much in terms of efficiency and privacy, self-sovereign, self-guided wealth and money. All of us here today have experienced what it's like to own your own crypto, to send it to a friend, to pay for something, to trade it around. It's just this amazing, amazing technology and opportunity that we have together to build a new financial system, a new version of this thing that we all come together and participate in every single day. The fundamentals of blockchain technology have so much to offer, and yet we don't have mass adoption yet. I think there's a handful of reasons for that, but at least one is that when you have to write down those 24 words, you stamp them into a piece of metal, even putting them in a hardware wallet, you can't help but think how risky it is. If that seed phrase, if those private keys get lost, you're toast, you're out of luck. And all of our friends around us who maybe aren't so crypto native and don't understand that they don't have to put up with it, they don't want to bother. So we have massive barriers to mass adoption. Oh, more AI generated art. I just love these. That we need to deal with. So the dragon that we need to slay is called seed phrase. I think that there's an enormous opportunity that we have right now as builders in the industry to solve this problem for people. And in fact, the biggest names out there, the biggest companies, the biggest thinkers and doers and developers are actively working on solving this problem. It was only recently that most people became aware of what self-custody even means. We had some instances happen in the world of centralized crypto. People are starting to understand what the difference is between someone else owning their crypto and them owning their crypto themselves, but there's still barriers to entry. So let's talk a little bit about some dragon slaying technology. These things are actively being developed. They're being implemented. The designs, the architecture has existed for a minute, but you're going to see more of this over the next 12, 18 months, maybe even more. You're going to hear a lot about private key abstraction and the technology that's going to enable us to slay the seed phrase dragon. So you might have heard of MPC, multi-party computation. You probably have heard of it in terms of social recovery. Like you can potentially give a friend of yours a bit of your private key. They could keep it safe, so if you need to recover it, you can go to all of your friends, recover it. Usually when you think of MPC, you think of social recovery, but there is a very technical, scientific, strict definition of MPC, which is that essentially you go to the internet, you talk to your friends who are represented by programs, and you create a signature in the cloud that then you put on the blockchain. So this is going to get real technical real fast, but just so you kind of have a big high-level picture, MPC happens on the internet, and you have to talk to people, entities that you trust to get a blockchain signature going. Another method of solving this is known as threshold secret sharing, TSS. You might also know it as Shamir's secret sharing. The idea behind this is that you can split up a secret into multiple different shares. You can design it so that you set a minimum threshold. In other words, I could have maybe 5 different shares of my private key, but set a threshold of 2, so that if I have any 2 of those shares, I can recover my private key. If I lose my phone, or if I forget my password, as long as I have 2 other shares, I can get my private key back. One really big difference between MPC and TSS is that with a TSS algorithm, you are able to set yourself up as the sole person that requires any trust. In MPC, you have to talk to other people over the internet that you have to trust. In TSS, you can set it up to where you're the only person, and you can recover your key offline, off the internet. So there's some trade-offs. There's always some give and take between these two things, but you're going to be hearing a lot about MPC. You probably haven't heard as much about TSS lately, but it's something that we at Giddy are spending a lot of time on. We've been up and running for a little over 2 years, raised money in the middle of 2021, which we all remember those times. And since then, we've done an enormous amount of R&D on this specific problem. So we at Giddy, we've created a way for you to protect your seed phrase, protect your private key, and recover it, and it's truly self-custodied. We never, ever have your private key. We're not an intermediary between you and your money. We're just a next-generation wallet that allows you to interact with the blockchain and protect your private key and recover it in an easy, safe, fast, effective way. So check us out. Give it a shot. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love any feedback. And thanks again for having us. It's been so awesome being here. The reception has been so warm. Everybody here has been so into crypto and understanding of these ideas and really hungry for what's next. So thank you again. Feel free to check us out. We're Giddy, and have a great rest of the conference. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Eric Parker.